The galactic stage. The vast expanse of space glittered with countless stars, each one a potential cradle of life. Among these celestial bodies, Earth stood alone, a blue marble shrouded in mystery and fear. For centuries, the galactic community had observed this isolated world from afar, dubbing it a death world, a planet so harsh and unforgiving that it seemed impossible for intelligent life to thrive there. Captain Zara Vex of the Galactic Exploratory Force stood at the helm of her ship, the Starweaver, as it approached the Sol system. Her iridescent scales shimmered under the soft light of the bridge, 4 eyes blinking in rapid succession as she processed the incoming data. "Status report," she commanded, her melodious voice carrying a hint of anticipation. Her first officer, a tall, willowy being named Thrix, responded promptly. "We're entering the outer reaches of the system now, Captain. Sensors are picking up significant electromagnetic activity from the third planet." Zara's antenna twitched with interest. So, the legends are true. There is indeed intelligent life on this death world. For millennia, Earth had been a subject of debate among galactic scholars. Its extreme weather patterns, diverse and often deadly flora and fauna, and the planet's penchant for natural disasters made it seem an unlikely candidate for advanced civilization. Yet, against all odds, humanity had not only survived but thrived. As the Starweaver drew closer to Earth, the crew's excitement grew palpable. They were about to make first contact with a species that had evolved in isolation, shaped by the crucible of their harsh world. "Captain," Thrix called out, his voice tinged with disbelief. "You need to see this." Zara glided over to the main view screen, her eyes widening as she took in the sight before her. The planet's surface was a patchwork of sprawling cities, vast agricultural zones, and carefully preserved wilderness areas. Satellites orbited the world, and space stations hung in low orbit like artificial moons. "Impossible," she whispered. "How could they have advanced so far in such conditions?" As the Starweaver entered Earth's orbit, they intercepted a barrage of transmissions, radio waves, digital signals, and even primitive attempts at faster-than-light communication. The sheer volume and diversity of information flooding their systems were overwhelming. "Initiate first contact protocols," Zara ordered, her voice steady despite her inner turmoil. This was not the primitive world they had expected to find. Within hours, the news of an alien ship in orbit had spread across the globe. Humanity, long wondering if they were alone in the universe, now had their answer. The response was a mixture of excitement, fear, and cautious optimism. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, Earth's foremost xenobiologist, found herself aboard the first shuttle dispatched to meet the alien visitors. As their craft docked with the Starweaver, she couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. Humanity had faced countless challenges throughout its history, yet here they were, ready to take their place among the stars. The airlock hissed open, and Elena stepped onto the alien ship. She found herself face to face with Captain Zara Vex and her crew, a diverse array of beings unlike anything humans had ever encountered. "Welcome aboard the Starweaver," Zara said, her words translated by an advanced "ah." "We are honored to make your acquaintance." Elena smiled, her eyes sparkling with curiosity and determination. "The honor is ours, Captain. On behalf of Earth, I welcome you to our system. We have much to learn from each other." As the two species began to interact, the aliens found themselves constantly surprised by the humans. They marveled at humanity's adaptability, their ability to thrive in environments that would be lethal to most galactic species. During a tour of the Starweaver, Elena demonstrated remarkable resilience to changes in gravity and atmospheric composition, adjustments that left some of the alien crew nauseous or disoriented. Her keen intellect and quick grasp of advanced concepts also impressed her hosts. "Dr. Rodriguez," Zara said as they stood in the ship's observatory, Earth gleaming blue and green below them, "I must confess, we had severe misconceptions about your world and your species. We called Earth a death world, believing it too harsh for advanced life. Yet here you are, defying all our expectations." Elena's expression turned thoughtful. "Captain, what you call a death world, we simply call home. Every challenge our planet presented became an opportunity for growth, for innovation. We've faced extinction-level events, ice ages, and our own destructive tendencies. But each time, we've emerged stronger, more united." Zara's antenna quivered with newfound respect. Perhaps that is the true measure of an advanced species, not the gentleness of their cradle, but their ability to thrive despite adversity. As the first day of contact drew to a close, both humans and aliens retired to process the monumental events that had transpired. Elena gazed out at the stars, her mind racing with the possibilities that lay ahead. Humanity had earned its place on the galactic stage, not despite being from a death world, but because of it. The crucible of Earth had forged humanity into something unique in the cosmos, a species of survivors, innovators, and explorers. As sleep finally claimed her, Elena smiled, knowing that the greatest adventure in human history was just beginning. Little did they know, this meeting of worlds would soon be tested in ways neither humanity nor their new galactic neighbors could have imagined. The true trial of Earth's death world-forged children was yet to come, and its outcome would reshape the very fabric of galactic society. The crucible of survival. 3 months after first contact, the initial excitement had given way to a complex dance of diplomacy, cultural exchange, and scientific collaboration. Humanity's induction into the galactic community was proceeding at an unprecedented pace, driven by equal parts curiosity and caution from both sides. Dr. Elena Rodriguez found herself at the heart of this whirlwind. Her expertise in xenobiology and her role in first contact had made her Earth's de facto ambassador to the stars. Today, she stood before the Galactic Council, a diverse assembly of beings representing thousands of spacefaring civilizations. "And so, esteemed members of the Council, I propose a joint mission." Elena concluded her presentation, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. "A chance for humans to work alongside your best and brightest, to demonstrate our capabilities and learn from your vast experience." The council chamber buzzed with murmurs and telepathic exchanges. Finally, the chief counselor, a luminous being of pure energy named Zix, spoke. "Dr. Rodriguez, your proposal is intriguing. But surely you understand our reservations. Your species is untested in galactic affairs, and your physiological resilience, while impressive, may pose unforeseen risks." Elena smiled, a glint of challenge in her eyes. "With all due respect, Counselor, it's precisely because we're untested that this mission is so crucial. As for risks, well, we humans have a saying, nothing ventured, nothing gained." After hours of deliberation, the Council reached a decision. Humans would be allowed to join an upcoming salvage mission to the Nephilim Nebula, a notoriously dangerous region of space. The mission: to recover vital data and technology from an ancient precursor civilization. 2 weeks later, Elena found herself aboard the VSS Horizon, a state-of-the-art salvage vessel. She was part of a small human contingent, joining a diverse crew of galactic experts. As they prepared to depart, Captain Zara Vex, now serving as mission commander, addressed the assembled team. "We face unprecedented challenges in the Nephilim Nebula." Zara's voice rang out. "Intense radiation, gravitational anomalies, and the remnants of a long-dead but highly advanced civilization. This mission will test us all. But together, I believe we can succeed." As the horizon plunged into faster-than-light travel, Elena couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. This was humanity's chance to prove themselves on the galactic stage. Days later, they arrived at the edge of the Nephilim Nebula. The view was both breathtaking and terrifying. Swirling clouds of cosmic dust and gas, punctuated by the skeletal remains of shattered planets and derelict space stations. "By the cosmic core," whispered Thrix, Zora's first officer. "It's even worse than the report suggested." Elena studied the sensor readings, her mind racing. The radiation levels are off the charts. Our shielding will be strained to the limit." Zara nodded grimly. "We knew this wouldn't be easy. Thrix, take us in, slow and steady. Everyone else, prepare for insertion. We have a job to do." As they ventured deeper into the nebula, the horizon shuddered and groaned under the assault of cosmic forces. The alien crew members began to show signs of stress, their bodies struggling to cope with the harsh conditions. To everyone's surprise, the humans seemed to be faring better. "How are you still functioning?" asked Klex, a methane-breathing engineer, as Elena helped him recalibrate a failing system. "This environment, it's almost as bad as your Earth." Elena chuckled, despite the gravity of their situation. "Almost, but not quite. We've evolved to adapt quickly. Right now, my body is probably producing more red blood cells. My bones are densifying. We're built to survive." Their target came into view, a massive space station, clearly of alien origin, drifting in the heart of the nebula. As they docked, Zara divided the crew into teams. Elena found herself leading a group into the station's central data core. The interior of the station was a maze of advanced technology, much of it still operational after eons of abandonment. As they navigated the twisting corridors, the team encountered one hazard after another: gravitational fluctuations that made walking nearly impossible, sudden bursts of radiation, and defense systems that sprang to life after millennia of dormancy. Through it all, Elena and her fellow humans displayed a level of adaptability that astounded their alien counterparts. Where others faltered, they pushed on. When conventional solutions failed, they improvised. "Watch out," Elena shouted, tackling Klex to the ground as energy beams sizzled overhead. "The defense systems are adaptive. They're learning our patterns." Klex's eyes widened in awe. "Your reflexes. How did you?" "On Earth, hesitation means death," Elena explained, helping him up. "We're always ready for the unexpected." As they finally reached the central data core, they found it protected by a complex lock mechanism. The alien experts argued over the best approach, precious minutes ticking by as the station's defenses closed in. Elena stepped forward, her eyes narrowed in concentration. "I have an idea, but it's risky. On my world, we have a game called chess. It's about predicting your opponent's moves, thinking several steps ahead. This lock, it's like a cosmic chess game." With swift, sure movements, Elena began manipulating the lock's controls. To the amazement of her teammates, the mechanism responded, layers of security peeling away. "Impossible," breathed Thrix. "How did you decipher it so quickly?" Elena grinned, sweat beading on her brow. "I didn't. I just thought like the builders. On Earth, we're always preparing for worst-case scenarios. These precursors, they thought the same way. The lock isn't about keeping everyone out. It's about letting the right ones in." With a final click, the data core opened, revealing a treasure trove of advanced knowledge and technology. As they began the delicate process of data extraction, alarms blared throughout the station. Zara's voice crackled over the comms. "The station's becoming unstable. We need to leave now." As they raced back to the horizon, the station crumbling around them, Elena realized that this was just the beginning. Humanity had proven its worth in the crucible of the Nephilim Nebula, but greater challenges and opportunities lay ahead. The true test of Earth's Deathworld-forged children was yet to come, and its outcome would shake the foundations of the galaxy. The storm of betrayal. The VSS Horizon limped through space, its hull scared and systems strained from the harrowing escape from the precursor station. Despite the damage, an air of triumph permeated the ship. Against all odds, they had succeeded in their mission, retrieving invaluable data from the heart of the Nephilim Nebula. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the swirling chaos of the nebula behind them. The events of the past few days played through her mind on a loop. The dangers they'd faced, the ingenuity they'd shown, the bonds they'd forged with their alien crewmates. Captain Zorovek's approach, her scales shimming with a mix of colors that Elena had learned to interpret as pride and concern. Dr. Rodriguez, your team's performance was exceptional. You've given us much to consider about the capabilities of your species. Elena nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. Thank you, Captain. But we couldn't have done it without the expertise of the entire crew. This was a true collaborative effort. As they spoke, Fricks burst onto the bridge, his usually calm demeanor shattered. Captain, we have a problem. The data core. It's gone. The news hit like a physical blow. Hours of frantic searching turned up nothing. The precious data core, containing technologies and knowledge that could reshape the galaxy, had vanished without a trace. As accusations flew and tensions mounted, Elena found herself working alongside Klex, the methane-breathing engineer, to review the ship's security footage. What they discovered sent a chill down her spine. It was an inside job, Elena announced to the assembled crew, her voice tight with anger and disappointment. Someone on this ship took the core and transmitted its contents to an unknown receiver just before we left the nebula. The revelation sparked chaos. Years of fragile trust between species threatened to unravel in an instant. It was Zora who finally restored order, her voice cutting through the din like a laser. Enough. We are better than this. We will find the truth together. As the investigation progressed, strange accidents began to plague the ship. Critical systems failed at alarming rates, and crew members reported sightings of shadowy figures in the corridors. Paranoia spread like a virus. Elena found herself working tirelessly, not just to uncover the traitor, but to keep the crew united. Her experiences on Earth, facing natural disasters and overcoming societal divisions, had prepared her for this moment. Listen to me, she addressed the increasingly fractious crew. I know you're scared. I know you want someone to blame. But dividing ourselves is exactly what our enemy wants. On Earth, we've faced extinction many times, not just from our harsh environment, but from our own conflicts. Each time, we survived by coming together, by turning our differences into strengths. Her words seemed to have an effect, but the respite was short-lived. As they approached the nearest galactic hub for repairs, the ship suddenly dropped out of faster-than-light travel, alarms blaring. We're being pulled out of hyperspace. Fricks yelled over the cacophony. Multiple ships approaching. They're not responding to hails. Elena's mind raced. The timing was too perfect. This had to be connected to the stolen data core. As the crew scrambled to battle stations, she realized with grim certainty that their true trial was just beginning. The attackers struck with precision, disabling the Horizon's main systems before they could mount an effective defense. As boarding parties breached the hull, Elena found herself in the thick of the fight, her Earth-honed survival instincts kicking into high gear. She ducked under a plasma blast, rolling to cover behind a bulkhead. Next to her, Klex struggled with his weapon, his methane suit limiting his mobility. Without hesitation, Elena reached out, adjusting the suit's settings with practiced ease. How did you know how to do that? Klex asked, amazement clear in his voice, even as energy weapons fire erupted around them. Elena managed a grim smile. On Earth, we learn to adapt to any environment, to use any tool at our disposal. Right now, we're in a fight for survival, and I intend for us all to survive. As they fought their way through the ship, Elena's quick thinking and the humans' combat adaptability turned the tide. They'd managed to repel the boarders, but at a cost. The ship was heavily damaged, and several crew members were injured. In the aftermath, as they tended to the wounded and assessed the damage, a shocking truth came to light. The attack had been orchestrated by a faction within the Galactic Council itself, a group that feared the potential rise of humanity as a galactic power. The stolen data core had been their attempt to gain precursor technology, to maintain their dominance. The humans' unexpected success in retrieving the data had forced them to take drastic action. As this revelation sunk in, Alina found herself at the center of a pivotal moment. The crew looked to her, not just as a representative of humanity, but as a leader who had proven her worth in crisis. "What do we do now?" Zara asked, her voice heavy with the weight of betrayal. Alina stood tall, her eyes blazing with determination. "We fight back. Not just for humanity, but for every species that's been manipulated and held back by those who fear change. We use what we've learned, we stand together, and we show the galaxy what it truly means to be forged in adversity." A chorus of agreement rose from humans and aliens alike. In that moment, aboard a damaged ship floating in the void of space, an alliance was born. An alliance that would challenge the very foundations of galactic society. As they set a course for Earth, to warn their people and prepare for the coming storm, Alina knew that the greatest challenges lay ahead. But she also knew that humanity, and the friends they'd made among the stars, were ready to face whatever the universe threw at them. The Deathworlders were done hiding. It was time to show the galaxy what they were truly capable of. The fires of redemption. The journey back to Earth was fraught with tension and close calls. The VSS Horizon, battered but unbowed, slipped through the cosmic seas like a wounded predator, always alert for signs of pursuit. Dr. Elena Rodriguez spent her waking hours divided between repairing critical systems and strategizing with Captain Zara Vex and the rest of the crew. As they approached the Sol system, Elena stood on the bridge, her heart racing with anticipation and dread. "To think," she mused aloud, "just months ago, we were isolated on our death world, oblivious to galactic politics. Now we're at the center of a conspiracy that could reshape the cosmos." Zara's antenna twitched in agreement. "Your species has a talent for finding trouble, Dr. Rodriguez, or perhaps trouble has a talent for finding you." Their arrival at Earth sparked a flurry of activity. Emergency meetings were called, defense systems activated, and a galaxy-wide alert was issued to their newfound allies. The data they had managed to salvage from the precursor station, combined with the evidence of the Council faction's betrayal, painted a grim picture of the challenges ahead. In the days that followed, Alina found herself at the heart of Earth's response. Her experiences, both on the death world that had forged humanity and in the crucible of recent events, made her uniquely qualified to bridge the gap between Earth and its galactic allies. As representatives from sympathetic alien races arrived to offer support, a plan began to take shape. It was audacious, perhaps even reckless, but it bore the unmistakable stamp of human ingenuity. "We're going to turn their strengths against them," Elena explained to the assembled War Council, a diverse group of humans and aliens united in purpose. "They think they know us, that they can predict our actions based on their preconceptions of Deathworlders. We'll show them how wrong they are." The plan was multifaceted, a combination of diplomatic outreach to sway neutral council members, covert operations to gather intelligence, and the development of new technologies that merged human innovation with alien expertise. At the center of it all was the precursor data they had risked so much to obtain. Earth's scientists, working round the clock alongside their alien counterparts, made breakthrough after breakthrough. Shields capable of withstanding the harshest environments, weapons that could disable ships without destroying them, and communication systems that could pierce any attempt at jamming. But it was in the field of biotechnology that the most startling advancements were made. Drawing on humanity's unique adaptability, they developed treatments that could temporarily grant some of humanity's resilience to their alien allies. As preparations reached their peak, word came of a massive fleet gathering at the edge of Council space. The faction that had orchestrated the betrayal was making its move, and Earth lay in its path. The night before the expected attack, Alina found herself in a quiet corner of the makeshift command center. Klex, the methane-breathing engineer who had become one of her closest allies, approached. "You should rest," he said, concern evident in his modulated voice. "The battle ahead will test us all." Elena smiled wearily. "On Earth, we have a saying, no rest for the wicked." Though in this case, I suppose it's no rest for those fighting the wicked. Kalex's environmental suit hissed as he let out a sound Alina had learned to interpret as laughter. Your species' propensity for humor in the face of danger continues to astound me. It is admirable. As they talked, Alina realized something that had been nagging at the back of her mind. Kalex, the way they found us in the Nephilim Nebula, the precision of their attack, they must have had inside help. Someone high up in the council structure. Kalex nodded gravely. I've had the same suspicion. But who? And how can we prove it? Their conversation was interrupted by a priority alert. The enemy fleet had been detected entering the solar system, earlier than expected. As klaxons blared and the command center erupted into action, Alina felt a strange calm settle over her. This was what humans were built for, facing impossible odds, adapting, overcoming. The battle that followed would be remembered for generations across the galaxy. Earth's forces, bolstered by their alien allies and armed with their new hybrid technologies, met the invading fleet head-on. The void of space lit up with weapons fire, silent explosions blossoming like deadly flowers. Alina found herself aboard the flagship of the Earth Defense Fleet, coordinating strategy alongside Admiral Chen and Captain Zoravex. As the battle raged, she noticed a pattern in the enemy's movements, a flaw in their seemingly impenetrable strategy. There, she shouted, pointing at the holographic display. Their formations, the timing of their attacks. It's all too perfect, too predictable. They're relying on an eye to coordinate their fleet. Admiral Chen's eyes widened in realization. And if it's an eye, we can hack it. Alina finished, a fierce grin spreading across her face. What followed was a daring plan, born of human audacity and alien expertise. While the main fleet kept the enemy engaged, a small team led by Alina and Kalex slipped behind enemy lines. Using a combination of the precursor technology and good old-fashioned human hacking skills, they infiltrated the enemy's command and control systems. The tide of battle turned in an instant. Enemy ships found themselves firing on their allies, shield generators failed at crucial moments, and chaos spread through their once orderly ranks. As the enemy fleet crumbled, a transmission cut through the comm channels. It was the leader of the Council faction, Supreme Counselor Dax, his usually imperious voice now tinged with desperation. How? He demanded. How could you primitive Deathworlders have defeated us? Alina took great pleasure in responding. You made a classic mistake, Counselor. You underestimated us. Humans don't just survive on a death world. We thrive. We take what tries to kill us and make it our strength. And now, we've done the same to your betrayal. In the aftermath of the battle, as the remnants of the enemy fleet surrendered and the true extent of the conspiracy was laid bare, Alina found herself looking out at the stars once more. But this time, she wasn't on a ship venturing into the unknown. She was home, on the death world that had prepared humanity for this moment. As the first rays of dawn broke over the horizon, painting the sky in hues of hope, Alina knew that this was not an end, but a beginning. Humanity had earned its place among the stars, not through conquest, but through resilience, ingenuity, and the ability to forge alliances in the face of adversity. The galaxy would never be the same, and neither would humanity. The dawn of a new era. The Great Hall of the Galactic Council hummed with an energy unlike anything in its long history. Representatives from hundreds of worlds filled the chamber, their attention focused on the central podium where Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood, flanked by Captain Zoravex and Kalex. The aftermath of the battle over Earth had shaken the foundations of galactic society, and now, 6 months later, it was time to chart a new course. Elena took a deep breath, her eyes scanning the diverse crowd before her. So much had changed, yet the weight of responsibility on her shoulders felt familiar. It was the same weight she'd carried on Earth, facing natural disasters and societal challenges. Now that weight extended to the stars. Esteemed members of the Council, she began, her voice clear and strong. We stand at a crossroads. The recent conflict has shown us the dangers of fear, mistrust, and the abuse of power. But it has also shown us the strength that comes from unity, from embracing our differences rather than fearing them. As she spoke, holographic displays came to life around the chamber, showing scenes from the battle, but also from the cooperation that followed. Humans working alongside aliens to rebuild damaged worlds, to share knowledge and technology, to heal the wounds of war. Humanity came to the galactic stage late, born on a world you called a death world. Yes, Earth is harsh. Yes, it forged us into survivors. But it also taught us invaluable lessons. We learned that adversity can be a teacher, that adaptation is the key to not just survival, but progress. Elena gestured to Zara and Klex, her allies and friends. We also learned the power of cooperation. On Earth, our greatest achievements came when we set aside our differences and worked together. And now, we've seen that this principle holds true on a galactic scale. The image is shifted, showing the groundbreaking technologies developed through the merger of human ingenuity and alien expertise. Shield systems that could withstand the harshest environments, medical advancements that pushed the boundaries of what was thought possible, and propulsion systems that promised to open up new reaches of the galaxy. The conspiracy that threatened us all grew from a fear of change, a desire to maintain the status quo at all costs. But the universe doesn't allow for stagnation. We must adapt, we must grow, or we will surely perish. A murmur ran through the crowd, a mix of agreement and lingering uncertainty. Elena pressed on, her voice gaining strength. I stand before you not to claim humanity's superiority, but to offer our hand in partnership. We've seen what we can achieve together. The technologies we've developed, the bonds we've forged, these are just the beginning. She paused, allowing her words to sink in. We propose a new framework for the Galactic Council, one that emphasizes cooperation over competition, that values the unique strengths each species brings to the table. We've drafted a charter that ensures equal representation, that establishes safeguards against the abuse of power, and that commits us all to the continued exploration and understanding of our universe. As Elena laid out the details of the proposal, she could see the shift in the chamber. The fear and suspicion that had greeted humanity's arrival on the galactic stage were giving way to curiosity, to hope. We call this initiative the Cosmic Forge, Elena announced. Just as Earth forged humanity, just as each of your homeworlds shaped your species, we will forge a new future together. One that is stronger for its diversity, more resilient for its challenges, and brighter for its shared purpose. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of voices and telepathic exchanges. Questions were raised, debates sparked, but underlying it all was a current of excitement, of possibility. As the session stretched on, Elena found herself in deep discussions with representatives from across the galaxy. She was struck by how much had changed. Species that had once viewed humans with suspicion now sought their insight. Technological exchanges were proposed, cultural missions planned. In a quiet moment, Zora approached Elena. You've done it, the captain said, her scales shimmering with admiration. You've turned being from a death world into an asset, a point of unity rather than division. Elena smiled, feeling the weight of the moment. We've all done it, Zora. This is just the beginning. We have so much to learn from each other, so much to explore. As the council session drew to a close, a vote was called. The proposal for the Cosmic Forge passed with an overwhelming majority. As cheers and expressions of joy filled the chamber, Elena felt a profound sense of both accomplishment and anticipation. Later, standing at a viewpoint overlooking the vast cityscape of the council world, Elena found herself reflecting on the journey that had brought her here. From the challenges of Earth to the vastness of space, from first contact to a new galactic order. Klex joined her, his environmental suit gleaming in the light of the setting sun. What are you thinking, Elena? He asked. She turned to her friend, a smile playing on her lips. I'm thinking about home, about Earth. You know, we have an old saying, that which does not kill us makes us stronger. I used to think it just applied to individuals, to personal challenges. Now I see it applies to species, to entire civilizations. Klex nodded, his suit translating the gesture. Your Earth wisdom continues to impress. What humans call a death world, the galaxy will now call a crucible of innovation and resilience. As they stood there, watching the stars emerge in the darkening sky, Alina felt a sense of peace mixed with excitement. The galaxy was vast, full of wonders and dangers yet unknown. But now, united in purpose and strengthened by diversity, they were ready to face whatever lay ahead. Humanity had not just found its place among the stars. It had helped forge a new cosmic order, one that promised a future brighter than any single world could achieve alone. The Deathworlders had become the Lifebringers, and the universe would never be the same.